I want to give all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Waharakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect out here toiling in this truth. I'm Pathakamoth, GMS Dallas, and I'm just coming back at you with a really quick hit lesson, and I'm probably going to entitle this, The Lord Deals Through Mysteries and Secrets, which those mysteries and secrets were given to his servants, the prophets. It's not given to everyone, you know what I'm saying? And you got a lot of false prophets out here in these latter days, which the scriptures go into that. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of cats out here claiming that they're men of the Lord, servants of the Lord, the prophets of the Lord. And they're not, man. The spirit of the Lord is not with them. You know what I'm saying? You got all manner of things going on out here. Israel is bugged out. That's how you know we're at the end. And recently, like sometime earlier today, I saw something where some bug out Jake talking about this is not the end. You know what I'm saying? Proving that this is definitely the end. You know what I'm saying? Just all the things that are happening, man. All manner of bug out doctrines. You know what I'm saying? From the C hip, no C hip, to it's not the MOT to the B. No miracles. They're all metaphorical. No chariots, no missiles, just everything, man. And of course, I recently heard the flea doctrine. You know what I'm saying? It's still being taught, man. And I originally heard that doctrine when I first came into the knowledge, and it was being taught by the group GOCC. With Rakah. And that's definitely a bug out doctrine, and it's not of the spirit of the Lord. It's not biblical, because the Bible goes into all these things, man. You know what I'm saying? The Bible speaks of miracles. The Bible speaks of the chariots. You know what I'm saying? All of these various things, the Bible speaks of the C hip, the MOT to the B. You know what I'm saying? But all of these things are spoken in mysteries and secrets, which these things are not meant for everybody to be able to receive. As a matter of fact, real quick, let's get that real quick while I'm speaking on it. This is Colossians, the first chapter, and verse 26, and it reads, "Even the mystery which hath been hid from ages and from generations, but now is made manifest to his saints." And who are the saints, man? The saints, first and foremost, are the Israelites. The Israelites consist of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians of Negroid descent. You make up the 12 no longer lost tribes in these times. We know who we are now. We know who our enemies are in these times, man. All 17 other nations outside of the nation of Israel, predominantly the Edomites, who go back to their forefather Esau in these times, who are the so-called self-proclaimed white man, woman, and child. All of these nations are your enemies, man. You know what I'm saying? So those mysteries were given to the Israelites, beginning and starting with the elect. You know what I'm saying? In these times, man. So it says, Colossians 1 and 26, "Even the mystery which had been hid from ages and from generations, but now is made manifest to his saints." So these things are being manifest to the saints, and the scriptures to prove who the saints are is Psalms 50 and 5. Those that made a covenant with the Lord in the wilderness with Moses. No one was out there but the Israelites. Then you have Psalms 148 and verse 14, which prove that the children of Israel are the saints. And then you have Psalms 149 verse 1 and 2 that prove that the Israelites are the saints, man. You know what I'm saying? So these mysteries that the scriptures speak about, which all of these the aforementioned, the MOT to B, the chariots, all these various things, understanding what Babylon is, what it's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Slavery, even, man. You got these bug outs out here trying to debunk the transatlantic slave trade as what Deuteronomy 28 and 68 is talking about. You know what I'm saying? Spiritual Egypt, Sodom and Egypt, man. All these things, are mysteries that is given to certain men, beginning starting with Apostle Tahar on down and like-minded men that have learned under these men that the Spirit of the Lord is with, man, to have the understanding of these things. So we're going to go into this word real quick, mystery, because it's going to tell you, it's going to show you that it's not for everybody, man. Therefore, you have a lot of false prophets out here. G3466, Mysterion, and I'll let him say it. Let this devil say it.
Strong's G3466, Mysterion.
It's Mysterion. And when you jump down into outline of biblical usage, it said, number one, hidden thing, secret, mystery. A, generally mysteries, religious secrets confided only to the initiated and not to ordinary mortals. So the initiated are the only ones these things are confided in, these mysteries. You know what I'm saying? Which we're going to continue and further prove it. It says a hidden or secret thing, not obvious to the understanding. So Ron Dalton, it's not obvious to his understanding that the chariots exist. They're going to be the salvation of the elect of the nation of Israel, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a mystery, man. You know what I'm saying? Hidden to mortals, the ordinary mortals, man. But made, which is going to go into it. It says a hidden thing, secret thing, not obvious to the understanding. These things are not obvious to these people's understandings. The M-O-T to the B, being that C hip, a hidden purpose or counsel, secret will of men of the Most High, the secret counsels which govern the Most High in dealing with the righteous, which are hidden from ungodly and wicked men, but plain to the godly. There it is, man. These things are hidden to the likes of a Ron Dalton, to one body in Yahushua. You know what I'm saying? The average mojo out here who's claiming to be an Israelite, man, who's going against these things, man. It's hidden to them. They're ungodly. They're wicked, man. At the end of the day, So at the end of the day, it's these secrets are confided only to the initiated and not to ordinary mortals. Those guys are all ordinary mortals. They're false prophets, and the Lord didn't send them. They weren't sent by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep it going. As a matter of fact, and these things were revealed to who? Let's get it real quick. This is Amos chapter 3. These mysteries and secrets. This is Amos chapter 3 and verse 7. It says, surely the Lord God, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai power, will do nothing because he doesn't have to. He's the Most High, the ultimate king. What king has to do anything? So he's not going to do anything. He doesn't have to. But he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. So that's who has the mysteries, the secrets, those mysteries confided only to the initiated and not to ordinary mortals, man. The righteous and not the godly, not the ungodly, not those wicked men, those false prophets. They're not going to have these things. He revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. Those are the ones who have it. And that's why the scriptures say, when you read in Matthew, the 13th chapter, it's Matthew 13:11. Red letters, Yahushua speaking. He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. Clear separation. Elect in 1/3, those righteous, godly men. And then you have, but unto them, the them is the 2/3. It is not given, those wicked and ungodly men, those ordinary mortals, those false prophets, man. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't given to them, man. And it's reiterated. Let's go back to Matthew, the 19th chapter and verse 11. It's Matthew 19 and verse 11. Still red letters, Yahushua speaking. Matthew 19 and 11. But he said unto them, those 2/3, about those 2/3 rather. But he said unto them, all men cannot receive this saying, save they to whom it is given. All men can't receive this saying except those that it is given to. You know what I'm saying? You have to be given this to understand it. to believe it and understand it, man, to receive it, believe it, and understand it. Receive it, believe it, understand it. But anyway, yeah. So it's, hey, all men cannot receive it. You know what I'm saying? And there's another one in Mark, the 4th chapter, and verse 11 as well. Red letters, Yahushua speaking. Mark 4:11, and he said unto them, unto you it is given to know the mystery of the kingdom of the Most High, but unto them that are without, all these things are done in parables, that seeing they may see and not perceive, and hearing they may hear and not understand, lest at any time they should be converted and their sins should be forgiven them. So the Lord doesn't want everybody to get it, man. This thing is for his elect, man. The elect of the Most High, the Israel of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Which is talking about the elect, man. Scripture saying in Romans the 9th chapter, they are not all Israel that are of Israel. The Lord ain't dealing with the entire nation in these times. That's why it says this in Zechariah, the 13th chapter, in verse 8. It reads, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, said Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. So the majority of the nation is going to have to die, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just, hey, it is what it is. We're reading scriptures, man. So when you go back to Mark 4 and 11 and 12, it's going into them seeing, but not being able to perceive what they're looking at, and them hearing, but not being able to understand what they're hearing, man. Which goes back to what? Let's get that in the Old Testament. It's Isaiah chapter 6 and verse 9 and 10. And it reads, and he said, go and tell this people, Israel, who, Salakia, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. That's what we just read, in Mark 4, verse 10. Make the heart of this people fat, their minds, lab, in the Hebrew, and make their ears heavy and shut their eyes. So they're not going to be able to understand. They're not going to be able to perceive. Lest for fear of, which will prove that, lest they see with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand with their lobs, their minds, their hearts, and convert and be healed, proving that the Lord doesn't want them to, because it says lest, which means for fear of. As a matter of fact, let me see if because I had typed this in, might have to pull it back up. Let's see. Let's go. Let's go here. Right here. This is, I had typed in lest in the dictionary, and it pulled up like several, but I honed in on this one, and I'm going to let it say it. Lest. So lest, says lest they do these things. So when you go into this word, it says with the intention of preventing something undesirable. So the undesirables are the ones who don't understand these things. They don't have it. To avoid the risk of, it says, after a clause indicating fear because of the possibility of something undesirable happening in case. But so in case they get it, which, for fear of, as a matter of fact, there was hold on, let me see. Yeah, like right here. This is Merriam-Webster. It says lest, definitioning meaning. The meaning of lest is for fear that. There it is right there. There's another one here, Dictionary Cambridge, 8 days ago. In order to prevent any possibility that something will happen, they were afraid to complain about the noise. So for fear of, you know what I'm saying? Here's another one. Dictionary.com, less definition and meaning. Less definition for fear that, so all of them, Wixion, what's this? Collins Dictionary, less definition and meaning, conjunction for fear that, All of them say that, for fear that. So that's what it's going into, man. And then that's why I chose this one, because it broke it down with the intention of preventing something undesirable. So the Lord is preventing the undesirables from understanding and perceiving, man. That's what's going on. And that's what that word means. That word lest, for fear of, that they'll understand and perceive and be converted and be healed. And the Lord doesn't want to heal them, man. You know what I'm saying? So these false prophets out here, teaching things to the likes of, to flee, that flee doctrine. It's for the undesirables, man. These false prophets are set up by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai to seal those undesirables. We just read in Zechariah 13:8, man. So they can be cut off and die, man. So he can destroy them, man. You know what I'm saying? They're undesirables. They're not wanted. So he's got these false teachers and false prophets set up, which don't understand, and they're going to attract all the undesirables, man. So it is what it is, man. Because when you read, as a matter of fact, let's get into that real quick. Micah 4:10 tells you that the deliverance is coming out of Babylon, man. You know what I'm saying? So fleeing doesn't make sense. And when you read up here at the beginning part of this chapter, it's going into the kingdom of heaven, man. Micah 4, and when you read the first few verses, it's describing going into the kingdom of heaven. So when you jump down to verse 10, what does it say? Micah 4:10, be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion. And of course, the daughter of Zion represents Zion in the Hebrew is Zion, which means a monument, a thing remembered, man, because the Lord has not forgotten his people. He remembers, man. He's going to remember his people. He's going to remember the covenants, the promises, everything that he promised to him, man. All the blessings and promises are coming, man. You know what I'm saying? But it says, be in pain, labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. You know what I'm saying? That we were in that pain. You know what I'm saying? We were in that labor and pain, man. During the time of Titus and Vespasian, when they ransacked Jerusalem, and pushed us out of the land, man. Which is going to go into. It says, be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city. When we got pushed out of the land, man, by Titus and Vespasian, fleeing Roman persecution, man. And thou shalt dwell in the field. And when you read in Matthew, the 13th chapter, I believe around verse 38, it goes into the field being the world. So we went out into the world. We had to flee out of the land and go out into the world and dwell out in the world. You know what I'm saying? And of course, Israel, we fled all different ways. We went up into Europe, went over into Asia, but the majority of us went into the interiors of Africa, and we fled all different directions in Africa. We went some south, some north, but predominantly went into the western parts of Africa and settled on the western coastline of Africa, man. You know what I'm saying? Which is where we were picked up on those slave ships. Of course, those slave ships gathered all throughout, throughout the four corners, because we were scattered throughout the four corners, man. So they made sure to, that prophecy had to come to pass, man. Us being scattered through the four corners, man. So those slave ships, don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? They made their rounds and they scattered Jake throughout the four corners, man. So it says, for now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. That's when transatlantic slave trade, which actually started back in the 1492, man. You know what I'm saying? With the Northern Kingdom, the Hispanics and Native Americans. And then, of course, 100 plus years later, in the 1619, 1620, our brothers, the Southern Kingdom, so-called Negroid tribes, got gathered, from the western coastline of Africa, man, and in those other places that we scattered, ran into. But it says, there thou shalt be delivered from where? Babylon, man. There shalt thou be delivered. There Yahweh Bashem Yahushai shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies. Which this is not talking about ancient Babylon. because when you read about ancient Babylon, only first of all, there was no deliverance during that time. Salakia. Cyrus, of course, the king of Persia allowed Israel to return to Israel, to Jerusalem, to rebuild. You know what I'm saying? Also, the only the southern kingdom were in Babylon at that time, man. The entire nation wasn't there, man. The northern kingdom wasn't in ancient Babylon. Only the southern kingdom, which the southern kingdom consists of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, man. They're the only ones that were there during the time of the ancient. But the scriptures speak of not only deliverance for the southern kingdom, but for the entire, southern and northern. As a matter of fact, let's get that in Isaiah, the 11th chapter. I'm going to drop down to verse 12, and it reads, "And he shall set up an ensign for the nations," that standard, Yahushai, "and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel," northern kingdom, "and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth," southern kingdom. You know what I'm saying? That outcast, that diaspora. Diaspora, diaspora, however you want, tomato, potato, potato. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to gather the southern and northern, man. That didn't happen. There was no deliverance of that sort, because when you read, where is it? In verse 11. When you jump up to verse 11, it goes into it. It says, "And it shall come to pass," Isaiah 11:11, "and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord, Yahweh shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people." So, which that remnant represents that small number, few. So the second time, when did that happen, man? It hasn't, There was one deliverance, and that was out of Egypt. That's it. And now we're about to be delivered out of spiritual Sodom and Egypt, spiritual Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, in these times, man. So that second gathering has not happened, man. When you read in Matthew, the 24th chapter and verse 31, it goes into how he's going to, as a matter of fact, let's just read it. But this is dealing with the whole entire nation, man. Matthew 24. And if I'm going off, a brother can correct me, Matthew 24 and verse 31. Red letters, Yahushua speaking, it says, "And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other." That's northern and southern kingdom, man, not just southern kingdom, which was the only part of the kingdom that was in Babylon, in ancient Babylon, man. So, and the scriptures speak of the new Babylon. When you read in Isaiah, the 13th chapter, being burned. Ancient Babylon wasn't burned, man. The Medes and the Persians and the Medes basically took ancient Babylon over, man. They surrendered. They laid it down, man. They got taken, like the scriptures say. They were taken. They weren't burned. So all of these things prove it's not talking about ancient Babylon, but a new Babylon, man. So when you read in Isaiah 13, I'm gonna jump down to I believe it's verse 17. This is Isaiah 13 and 17, and it reads, "Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them." And of course, the Medes back then was under Darius, man. It's not talking about Darius, man. It's talking about the Medes today. These modern day Medes, which who's in their land today? Those Russians, man. It's talking about the Russians, man. And it's going to go into it. "Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, against Babylon, because when you read up verse 1, it says, Isaiah 13:1, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah, the son of Amos, did see. So it's talking about Babylon, just to prove that when it speaks of Babylon, it's not talking about ancient, it's talking about the modern day Babylon, which is AKA America. Isaiah 13:17, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Verse 18, their bows also shall dash the young men into pieces, the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eye shall not spare children, and Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, which those Chaldees, the modern day Chaldeans, are these Americans, man. They were the witches, man, back then, into witchcraft and sorcery, which the same thing, that spirit is here today. That's why everything from Disney, do you believe in magic? And all of their TV programs, the witches of Wizardly Place, Charmed, and all these different Bewitched, and all these different TV programs about magic and wishes, and then you have all the way to their pharmaceuticals, Walgreens with the cauldron, the witch's cauldron. You know what I'm saying? And when you look up pharmacy in the etymology of words, pharmakia, you know what I'm saying? Sorcery, potions, poisons. Yeah, it's heavily into witchcraft. So these are the modern day Chaldeans, man. So it's talking about America, aka Babylon, aka America. Verse 19, Isaiah 13:19. In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. So this Babylon shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And how did he do that? By way of fire. Ancient Babylon was not burned. They were taken over. They were taken by the Persians and the Medes. So it's not talking about ancient. It's talking about a new Babylon. And it's going to go into it. It shall never be inhabited, which ancient Babylon, which is Iraq today, is inhabited. Proving that this is not talking about ancient Babylon. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. That's talking about America, because the Arabians and shepherd, all these nations can come over here to America and set up shop, man, get businesses, and basically get rich off of Jake, man, who are the consumers here. We're at the bottom of this society. That's why the scriptures call us the lowly, the meek. Verse 20, it says, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there, set up their businesses. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there, and the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces, Salakia, and her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. So this is a future event that has not happened yet, that is near. It's close, man. This time is coming. It's approaching fast. So it's talking about that new Babylon, which is America, man. That place that's proud, man. That proud place. Matter of fact, let's go back into Isaiah, the 47th chapter. And we're going to read the first verse. And I'm going to jump down. Isaiah 47:1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. That virgin daughter. As a matter of fact, let's go here real quick. Now come back. Psalms 137 and verse 7. King David spoke on it. Psalms 137:7. Remember, O Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof. Burn it, destroy it. They didn't want, it said, even to the foundation thereof. They wanted no sign that it was ever there, man. Totally wanted to destroy it. O daughter of Babylon, there it is, the daughter of Babylon, man, who art to be destroyed. Happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. So the new Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, is going to be destroyed, man. Not taken. So going back to Isaiah 47:1, Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, aka America. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. And the place that was looked at that way is America, man. Everybody and their mama loves this place. They're enamored by this place. Everybody and their mama wants to come here. You know? We're going to drop down to, what verse that's? Verse 7. Isaiah 47:7. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. You know what I'm saying? And they would call that lady, and they thought they were going to be called that lady forever. But when you go into that word lady, it actually means to be proud towards the Most High, man. And who's the proud on the planet, man? Esau. You know, he's the most proud, man. And the Lord hates pride, man. So this is talking about modern day Babylon, aka the daughter of Babylon, aka America, man. You know what I'm saying? Because in ancient Babylon, it was only the southern kingdom. But when you read in Jeremiah the 50th chapter, and you drop down to verse 33, which the southern kingdom was the only part of the kingdom that was in ancient Babylon. This is dealing with Babylon. When you read up to verse 1, Jeremiah 50:1, the word that Yahweh Shai spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Now we're going to jump down to verse 33. Watch what it says, Jeremiah 50:33, which proves that it's talking about the new Babylon. Because only the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, were in ancient Babylon. Jeremiah 50:33. We just read in verse 1, it's talking about Babylon. So we're jumping down to verse 33. Thus saith Yahweh Shai of armies, the children of Israel, which is the northern kingdom, and the children of Judah, which is the southern kingdom, were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. So we got predominantly brought to the Americas in captivity and oppressed here in America together, man. You know what I'm saying? Proving that we're going to be right here in America, in aka Babylon, man, or Babylon, aka America. You know what I'm saying? So we one more time go back to, just to finish it out, Micah the 4th chapter. You know, Lord willing, this makes sense. You know, these mysteries and secrets aren't given to everyone, man. These false prophets don't have these things, these understandings. Micah 4:10, be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail, for now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. It's talking about America, not ancient Babylon. This is a future prophecy. This was a future prophecy which played out. You know, this happened. But here, this part is coming. There in Babylon, here in America, aka America, you know, the daughter of Babylon, there shalt thou be delivered. There Yahweh shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies. So here, man, in Babylon, America, so that flea doctrine is off, man. You know what I'm saying? And these false prophets, they don't have it, man. They don't have the spirit of the Lord. The Lord ain't dealing with them. You know, and as the title is going to state, the Lord deals through mysteries and secrets, which all these things are mysteries and secrets that have to be given those understandings, you know. So, hey, with that, hopefully this made sense. Hopefully this was edifying to the hopeful elect, which I hope to be a part of. I brought Sabah Kasha, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Wahar Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect, the house of David, the Bayath, Shalom.